Anatomy of kidney. The kidneys are a pair of excretory organs which are situated on the posterior abdominal wall on either side of the vertebral column. It is a retroperitoneal organ, which means the kidneys are located behind the peritoneum. The main function of kidney is excretion and maintenance of blood pH. Location of kidney is both the kidneys occupy the epigastric, hypochondriac, lumbar and umbilical regions. Vertically, the kidneys extend from T12 vertebra to L3 vertebra. The right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney because the massive liver occupies the right side. So the right kidney is little lower than left kidney. The transpyloric plane, so since the right kidney is little lower, the transpyloric plane passes through upper part of the hilum of right kidney, whereas the transpyloric plane passes through the lower part of hilum of left kidney. And each kidney weighs 150 gram in males and 135 gram in females, and each kidney is 11 centimeters long, 6 centimeters broad and 3 centimeters thick. The left kidney is little longer than the right kidney, and both the kidneys are reddish brown in color. The long axis of kidney is directed laterally, so upper poles are nearer to median plane and the lower poles are little away from the median plane. And in the fetus, the kidney is lobulated, which means it is made up of many lobules. The kidney has 12 lobes. In fetus, the kidney is made up of 12 lobes, but after birth, all these lobules gradually fuse. So the adult kidney is smooth, but sometimes the evidence of lobulations may persist. External features of kidney. The kidney appears bean shaped. There are two poles, upper pole and lower pole, two surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface, two borders, medial border and lateral border, and hilum along the medial border. The upper pole of right kidney is related to right suprarenal gland, and upper pole of left kidney is related to left suprarenal gland, and the lower pole of both kidneys are pointed. The anterior surface of both kidneys are irregular and the posterior surface is flat, but it is difficult to recognize both anterior surface and posterior surface. And there are two borders in a kidney, medial border and lateral border. Medial border is concave and lateral border is convex. And the medial border presents a depression in the middle called as hilum. And in hilum there are three structures which are present from anterior to posterior. So from anterior to posterior, the three structures which are present in hilum are renal vein, renal artery, renal pelvis. Then relations of the kidneys. So there are certain relations which are common to both the kidneys. First, upper pole. The upper pole of both kidneys are related to the corresponding suprarenal gland. So upper pole of right kidney is related to right suprarenal gland, and upper pole of left kidney is related to left suprarenal gland. And the medial border of both kidneys are related to suprarenal gland above and ureter below. And in hilum there are three structures from anterior to posterior which are common in both kidneys. Structures in hilum are the same in both kidneys, and the structures in hilum from anterior to posterior are renal vein, renal artery and renal pelvis, and the posterior relations of both kidneys are the same. This diagram shows the posterior relations. The posterior relations are the same for both kidneys. So first the posterior relations are diaphragm. This is the diaphragm. Then 12th rib. This is the 12th rib. Median arcuate ligament, lateral arcuate ligament, psoas major. This is the psoas major. This is the quadratus lumborum and transversus abdominis. Psoas major, quadratus lumborum, transversus abdominis are present in order. These are the subcostal vessels and nerves. This is the ilioinguinal nerve. Sorry, this is the iliohypogastric nerve and this is the ilioinguinal nerve. These are the posterior relations which are common for both the kidneys. But in right kidney it is only related to the 12th rib, but whereas in left kidney the posterior surface of left kidney is related to both 11th and 12th rib. Only the posterior relations of both kidneys are the same, but whereas the anterior relations are different for both the right kidney and left kidney. This diagram shows the anterior relations of both the kidneys. So this is the anterior relation of right kidney. So this is the suprarenal area where right suprarenal gland is related, and this is the hepatic area where the liver is related, and this is the duodenal area where second part of duodenum is related, and this is the colic area where hepatic flexure of colon is related, and this is the jejunal area where the jejunum of the small intestine is related. And out of all these 5 surfaces, only hepatic surface and intestinal surface are covered by peritoneum. The rest are devoid of peritoneum. And along the lateral border of the right kidney, the lateral border of right kidney is related to the right lobe of liver. This is the hepatic area which is along the lateral border. So lateral border of right kidney related to right lobe of liver and the hepatic flexure of colon. And this is the anterior relations of left kidney. So the anterior relations of left kidney are first the suprarenal area which is related to the left suprarenal gland, and the splenic area which is related to the spleen, and gastric area which is related to stomach, and pancreatic area which is related to pancreas, and the jejunal area which is related to the jejunum of small intestine, and the colic area which is related to splenic flexure and descending colon. And out of these all these surfaces, only gastric splenic and jejunal surfaces are covered by peritoneum. The rest of the surfaces are devoid of peritoneum. And the lateral border of left kidney is related to spleen and descending colon. And the kidney is covered, there are many coverings for the kidney which are also called as capsules. So the capsules or coverings of kidney are 4 in number. They are fibrous capsule, perirenal or perinephric fat, renal fascia, pararenal or paranephric body. So fibrous capsule is the thin membrane which closely invests the kidney, and the fibrous capsule lines the renal sinus, and normally the fibrous capsule is easily stripped from the kidney, but in certain diseases the fibrous capsule becomes adherent to the kidney and it cannot be easily stripped. And perirenal or perinephric fat is a layer of adipose tissue which lies outside the fibrous capsule and along the borders of the kidney. The perirenal fat is thickest, and this perirenal fat fills the extra space in the renal sinus. And renal fascia. Renal fascia has two layers, anterior layer and posterior layer. The anterior layer of renal fascia is called as fascia of Gerota, and posterior layer of renal fascia is called as fascia of Zucker-Kandel. And these two layers, that is the anterior layer and posterior layer of renal fascia, are fused laterally to form lateral conal fascia. The lateral conal fascia continues anterolaterally behind the colon to blend with parietal peritoneum, but later the fascia extends laterally behind the kidney as bilaminated sheets. On the right side, at the level of upper pole of kidney, the anterior layer of renal fascia blends with the inferior coronary layer and bare area of the liver. This is on the right side, and on the left side, the anterior layer of the renal fascia fuses with the gastrophrenic ligament. The posterior layer of renal fascia on both right side and left side fuse with the fascia of the muscles of posterior abdominal wall. That is, the muscles of posterior abdominal wall are psoas major, quadratus lumborum. And the posterior layer of renal fascia also fuse with the fascia on the inferior part of the thoracoabdominal diaphragm. Medially, the anterior layer is continuous from one kidney to the other kidney, and the posterior layer of renal fascia is attached to the either side of vertebra. And below, inferiorly, both anterior layer and posterior layer of renal fascia extend along ureter and they fuse with iliac fascia. Pararenal or paranephric body consists of variable amount of fat outside the renal fascia. The pararenal fat is more posteriorly along the lower pole of kidney. It fills up the paravertebral gutter and it acts as a cushion for the kidney. The structure or the interior of the kidney shows three parts: renal medulla, renal cortex and renal sinus. The renal medulla is made up of 10 conical masses called as renal pyramids, and the apex of the renal pyramids form renal papilla which indent the minor calyces. And the renal cortex is divided to two parts: cortical arches and renal columns. The renal columns dip in between the pyramids, and each pyramid along with the overlying cortical arch forms a lobe of kidney. Pyramid and the cortical arch forms a lobe of kidney. The renal sinus is the space which extends into the kidney from the hilum of the kidney. From the hilum it extends inwards towards the kidney. That space is called as renal sinus. The contents of renal sinus are branches of renal artery, tributaries of renal vein and renal pelvis. The renal pelvis further divides to 2 to 3 major calyces, which in turn divide to 7 to 13 minor calyces, and each minor calyx ends in an expansion which is indented by 1 to 3 renal papilla. Vascular segments of kidney. The renal artery supplies the kidneys, and the renal artery gives 5 segmental branches. 4 segmental branches arise from the anterior division of renal artery, whereas 1 segmental branch arises from the posterior division of renal artery. So the 5 segmental branches of renal artery are apical, upper, middle, lower on the anterior aspect. On the posterior aspect, part of apical and lower segments are seen, and posterior segment is also seen on the posterior aspect. Lymphatic drainage of kidney is lateral aortic nodes. Nerve supply of kidney. The kidneys are supplied by renal plexus, which contains sympathetic fibers T10 to L1 segments of spinal cord. The afferent nerves of kidney belong to T10 to T12 segments of spinal cord. The blood supply of kidney is mainly by renal artery and renal vein. This is the blood supply of kidney. So first, abdominal aorta at the level of L2 gives off renal artery, and the renal artery divides to 5 segmental arteries, and each segmental artery divides to lobar artery. Each lobar artery divides to interlobar artery. Each interlobar artery divides to arcuate artery, which divides to interlobular artery, and which becomes afferent arteriole and reaches glomerulus. And from the glomerulus, efferent arteriole drains the blood to the peritubular plexus, and from peritubular plexus the blood goes to interlobular vein, then arcuate vein, interlobar vein, lobar vein, then segmental vein. 5 segmental veins unite to form the renal vein, which finally drains to inferior vena cava. So the chief blood supply of kidney is by renal artery, and the chief venous drainage of kidney is renal vein. Clinical anatomy of kidney could be the renal angle. First, renal angle. Renal angle is the angle which is formed between the lower border of the 12th rib and the outer border of erector spinae. The tenderness in kidney is elicited in the renal angle by applying pressure over the renal angle with the thumb. And regarding the palpation of kidney, the kidney is palpated posteriorly. It is palpated bimanually with one hand in front and one hand behind the flank, that is in posterior abdominal wall. When the kidney is enlarged, lower pole of kidney is palpable on deep inspiration. And the common diseases of kidney are nephritis, pyelonephritis, tuberculosis of kidney, renal stones and tumors. So common manifestations of kidney disease are renal edema and hypertension. Raised blood urea indicates kidney failure. Kidney transplantation can be done in case of kidney failure. And congenital condition of kidney which is most common is polycystic kidney, which leads to hypertension. In chronic renal failure, dialysis can be done. The dialysis is of two types: peritoneal dialysis and hemodialysis.